Hello there guys. Okay, this is video number 2 of working with data. The previous video we've actually created a database with a data table, very simple, very easy. And so now we're going to be creating a connection between our database and our application. Alright, so first of all we're going to create a new project, and I'm just going to create a Windows Forms application. I'm going to call it contacts. Contacts project. How about that? We click OK, and the designer comes up with our basic form. Alright, we have a Solutions Explorer, but I've also got my data sources and Data Explorer on the right hand side. I have a server connection over here, but we're not going to work with that at the moment. We're going to create a basic connection. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to create on a new data source, a database. Click Next. We're going to create a new connection. We're going to make sure that we are connecting to a Microsoft SQL Server and SQL Server. Okay, and that is for using Microsoft SQL Server 2005. Click OK. The server name, I'm just going to click the drop down, and that will search for my local SQL Server. That one there. I'm going to use the Windows authentication. The database is going to be our test DB, the one we created in the previous video. Okay, and if you click on the drop down and you can actually see your databases, you would not need to test your connection because it's already got a connection. Click OK, and as you can see we have our connection. Click Next. We're going to leave it as test DB connection string. Okay, and my slow little laptop is bringing up our tables. Okay, so everything up until here is your connection section. Alright, it creates a connection string to connect to your SQL. The next step is how to import the data into your actual project. Okay, here we have a data source configuration wizard, and we're going to leave the tables unchecked, but we're going to click on the contacts. Okay, if you click on the contacts there, if you expand it, you'll see that all your columns have been checked. Alright, and we're going to call this contacts data set. Okay, because this data set is literally just for the contacts. If you had more tables in this database, it would be easier to name them according to the table than what it would be to name them according to the database. Alright, it's a very much more easier descriptive method of controlling the information that you see. Alright, I'm going to click on Finish. And in our data sources, now we have a contacts data set with a contacts table. And if I expand this, you'll see that here's all our contact information. Okay? Okay, so how to use our information? All I'm going to do is I'm going to change the method of viewing our table. At the moment is on a data grid view. So if I should drag and drop my table straight onto my form, you can actually see that it brings up a data grid view of items that's in there. If I go and just run this project, you will see that there's nothing in the table. It gives me a -1 to create something. Okay, but seeing that people don't want to sit and fill in information like this, I'm going to change it. I'm literally just going to delete my data grid view and change the view state to details, and then drag and drop it back on here, and now we have text boxes and names. Okay, I'm going to run this again, and just for this tutorial I'm going to create one or two users. Okay, so the ID, I'm going to leave that. Okay, I'm going to click on add. It's going to generate a new ID number, which for now is -1. I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to change the title, the first name, the last name, okay, telephone number, fax number, email, okay, and the date created, I'm going to leave it as today. I'm going to click on save data, and you can now see that my contact ID has changed to 1. Okay, if I should add another one, it changes it to -2, title, first name, last name, telephone number, fax, contact email. And I'm going to leave the data today as well. I'm going to save that. And I can now scroll between the contacts. Okay? This is your binding navigator. It allows you to navigate through the items in your table. Okay, you can skip forward, backwards, skip right to the end, skip right to the front, add new, delete, and save. Okay, so this is the basic information. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to run the project again just to show you that the information saved at the database, and yes, it brings everything back up 1, 2, no problem. Okay, so this is the extent of video 2, which is just creating a connection and testing the connection. Alright, my next video we're going to be looking at removing your binding navigator and physically change the environment so that you can control the update, remove, delete, and items like that. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.